2018 conference, and we're at the Experience Zone, and I have with me Scott Hayes, who's going to be taking us through the Experience Zone highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Alex. So the Experience Zone is something new that we've done at Insights this year. It's a bit like a science fair, except this stuff is real and it's happening and our customers are doing it. You're going to see some amazing things. And we're going to take you through 5 or 6 different stations to give you the experience of being here, the experience of being in the Experience Zone. So first I've got with me Stephen Coolidge. Stephen works on our analytics solutions, and he's going to be talking about how we can make data, bring it to life with real data-driven actions, because having the data is just one thing, but taking action based on it and the right action, super important, yeah?
It's like, knowledge is pointless unless you take action with it.
Absolutely. Stephen?
So, we have some great data analytic products, and the products really are made to be very simple for users to use. And ease of use is the main theme, but you know, they're very powerful. The amount of data collected by businesses today is amazingly large. And being able to get down to the data to make actionable items is very important to our customers. And we've got great buzz around our analytic products. We have both a traditional data warehouse analytic product as well as an operational data analytic product pulling the transactions right from the ERP systems. But we've had such a buzz that we've had to open another screen to show this stuff. It's been absolutely amazing. People have really taken to it because I think businesses nowadays are starting to feel like they can't do without an analytic product because they need to understand their data to make faster, better, and quicker data decisions.
And I mean, it's something that in the past people just didn't have this granularity. They may have had spreadsheets or documents, but it was never so, richly gathered and even giving you such an opportunity to really dive deep into what you've got and what you can do and how you can benefit from it.
Absolutely. So you've got people from all areas of manufacturing and distributors that need to get to this data. And one of the really nice things is because it's so easy to use and so quick to get done, it's not for just the people that are used to spreadsheets. This is touch and feel and be able to get to the data, and it's mobile ready right outside the box. So those people outside of the company that need the data in the ERP that don't have the data information or capability to get to the ERP can still get to the data to make their jobs easier and faster.
So is there something you'd like to show us here on the screen?
Shows. So this is Epicor Data Analytics, and this is an interactive dashboard. I can click on a customer and I can focus all the information on the dashboard quick and easily right to give me that information based on that customer. I can see current year sales, previous year sales, but I can go further than that. I can actually go behind the scenes in this and drill in all the way down to transactions. So from that customer, I might see an issue. I can go all the way down and see their transactions quickly to determine if there's an issue with the transaction and how to create an actionable item to fix that.
Is there something you want to show us and do that?
I can. See if the Surface Hub will work for me.
Sure, that's it.
And it's not.
Technology. Maybe there's another area there.
Looking for the. Here, we can use this.
Keyboard and mouse. There we go.
We can go old
That's
technology.
This is the original.
Looking for the on-off switch.
I got it.
Okay, sweet. There we go.
So I can go from current sales, go to the back end, and I can see the analytics. But one of the things that's important is being able to slice and dice and go down. So I can go from seeing it for a single customer or a company to seeing it by part, seeing it by product group, or even if I wanted to see right down to transactions, I can go immediately for the transactions that make up that month and get the invoice number and the order number so that I can make quick adjustments in our system or determine what has happened to make things right.
Sure. And clearly it's just running through a browser, so you could just have a Surface or you could have some of the tablet and you...
Absolutely. It's browser agnostic and it's mobile ready right out of the box.
And is this using the new UX Kinetic Design that was announced at the keynote?
This is not using the UX. We have an operational analytics that is being transformed to the new UX, and we are going to build everything based on the new UX that we are building internally.
Sure.
So
is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, I'm just hoping you have a really great event.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
Here we are now at the Cloud Station, and I've got with me Carrie Jordan from Epicor. She's going to talk about a little bit about what's most important that you want people to know about that move from on-premises to cloud and why that's so important.
Sure. Well, I think the most important thing about cloud is making sure you have a cloud strategy.
Okay.
So whether you're cloud now, cloud next, or cloud future, the important thing is you have a strategy. And whether that strategy is on-premises or on the cloud in the future, that's okay. Epicor is all about choice. Mm-hmm. We make sure that you have choice available to you throughout your digital transformation, regardless when that might be. Our product is on the same cloud base, the same cloud.
Code base.
Same code base. It's all about cloud here. It's cloud all the time, 24/7.
Absolutely.
It's on the same code base.
Yeah.
So what that means is you can move to the cloud when you're ready, and that's important to us and important to our customers.
Do they have to make one big leap to the cloud, or is there any way to do it incrementally?
Absolutely, they can do it incrementally,
Okay.
and that's important to our customers, and we understand that. So we make sure that that's possible.
Like Thierry was saying yesterday, that maybe one site at a time, one location, one part of the business,
Right.
and you could be operating then in basically a hybrid fashion during that time, right?
Exactly, and we
Okay.
like to tell our customers, think big, start small,
Yeah.
act fast.
Yeah.
And that's so
good.
that you don't get bogged down, but you have these big dreams, and you can achieve them in a way that makes sense to your business.
Excellent.
It's the traditional problem-solving approach. Chunk it down, do it bit at a time.
Precisely.
Eat the elephant piece by piece, and you'll
Yes.
have the whole meal.
Chunk it down,
That's
Alex.
it.
I like that.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Carrie. I know you've got a session to run too, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now I'd like to introduce you to Don Woods. Don is an executive with Microsoft.
Hi, Don.
And he's been great in this new partnership because Azure is that fabric, that power underneath the Epicor cloud. So why is this relationship with Epicor important to you, representing Microsoft and Azure?
Well, Scott, 94% of our business comes from our partner ecosystem, and it has since our inception. And it's always been about an extenuation of our platform capabilities with products like Epicor. In particular, where we're coming into manufacturing, distribution, and retail, these are customers we could never reach with just a platform strategy. We have to have our partners. It's the additive element of the expertise and solutions that you bring on our platforms that you deliver to our mutual customers that makes it successful, and it also makes Microsoft successful.
Absolutely, and the reason we decided to go and standardize on Microsoft Azure wasn't just the data center kind of approach. This was about the kinds of things that you're bringing to our development teams in terms of machine learning, artificial intelligence, even to the level of analyzing imagery to get structured data out of pictures. And that's really important to manufacturers. And so we are looking forward to the combination of the power that you bring to our developers to develop applications to take advantage of the Azure capabilities to bring more to manufacturing, distribution, and retail. So thanks, Don, I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Alex, anything else?
That's it. Let's get to the next session.
All right, great.
Thank
So
you.
we know how important it is for our customers to stay on the current release of our software.
And that's why we're at the Upgrade Center.
We are at the Upgrade Center now. I'm here with Jeff Young, who's basically running our upgrade and migration program that builds, I would call them HOV lane bridges to the future.
And what's an
right?
HOV?
enough.
What's an HOV? Just
Oh, yeah, for the international audience.
Yeah.
High occupancy vehicle. You get
Okay.
a fast pass to go in the fast lane ahead of everyone else and get to the future as quickly as possible.
We have them too. They're called transit lanes, where you
Transit
have
lanes.
multiple people in the car.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so Jeff, why don't you what is it that you want our customers and prospects to know about our ability to keep them up on the latest release?
Yeah, so that one of the biggest impediments to customers going live or upgrading on a regular basis is just time, effort, cost, right? It's too costly, it takes too much of their time, and they just see it as a very cumbersome process. So what we've done at Epicor for ERP customers is essentially taken them through a process that, if done swiftly and correctly, we can get them upgraded in about 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we've essentially done is we've got flip it over here on this side. We've got a very defined process that takes them through a life cycle of an upgrade, which essentially allows us to leverage an analyzer of their database to be able to give us a perspective of what's going on with their environment, what's going on with their customizations, their user screens, and all of that. which will then allow us to basically stand back, take that database, package it, upgrade it, convert the data, do a reconciliation of that data to ensure that it's as clean as possible. And the biggest advantage is to present that to them via the application in the cloud. So they don't have to do anything other than simply log into the cloud, look at their data in the upgraded environment, and then be able to allow them to start that reconciliation process of their own and do data analytics services.
And this allows them obviously to be able to run the old system in parallel with the new system and tweak any customizations and get everything solved before flicking over and being on the new system.
In addition to feeling comfortable with, because they may be on a very old version of Epicor, they're going to come to a newer, latest and greatest 10.2 version. So, people essentially want to get the feel and comfort with the look and feel and the usability of the application and navigation of it as well. Correct.
Sure. So what would you like to show us on the screen behind you there? The analysis report?
So as an output of the analyzer, where we can actually take a look at their environment itself, what version they're on, the database, how big the database is, and then the bigger bang for the buck essentially is on the customization side. There we go.
Yep.
How many dashboards, how many user interfaces there got, how many BPMs, and most importantly, how many customizations, and the complexity of those customizations, simple, medium, complex, and then allows them to determine off that list which of those customizations they want to keep, or frankly, some of those customizations may be very old and they don't need them anymore, so we could potentially eliminate them as well.
Sure, and I was actually getting a preview of this stand on the first day, and I was asking the lady that was here, sort of what's the timeline about how long it takes a customer to change, and she was telling me that, look, we're moving towards 4 months, but for some people it will take longer because they've got various things they need to solve. So what's sort of the average time frame, and
Fair enough. Stated objective is 4 months of the program. Average time right now is 5.5. And the primary reason for that 5.5 is some customers, actually frankly most customers, want to take a little bit more time.
Sure.
They don't
get
want to
it
feel
right.
Yeah, they want to get it right. They want to feel comfortable, and they want to make sure the adoption's high and there's no residual failure if they do go live and people aren't comfortable with it.
Sure. And I was also discussing about how this is a program that's about 18 months old, so there's been a lot of learnings and improvements and upgrades in that time.
That's correct.
And learnings from other customers that you've been able to deploy across new customers to really help get down to that 4-month level.
That's right, and then give them that comfort level that has been going on for a period of time, that we've got a couple hundred of these under our belt, and it just makes a newer customer feel more comfortable that we've got our game in place.
So any final messages for those potential customers looking to upgrade to the newest version?
We're reducing risk, we're going to reduce your effort, we're going to reduce your costs, and there's no reason for you not to upgrade to Epicor 10.2.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Kinetic Design, part of the stand, Experience Zone, and Scott, take us through it.
Right, so Epicor Kinetic Design and Epicor Kinetic Framework are brand new. We've just launched them, and I've got here with me Brett Kirst, and Brett is going to talk us through it, and we really want to know what the most important takeaways are about having this. What difference does it make to our customers and to our partners to have this Epicor Kinetic Design and Framework?
You bet. So Kinetic is a new set of UI and UX standards that we're going to be employing across all of our products to bring a more consistent feel and a better user experience. Today I've got with me Brent Bynum, one of the architects on Kinetic, and I've got Deb, a principal design engineer. So what is Kinetic? Well, like I said, it's a set of UX and UI design guidelines.
Everybody wants their UI and UX to be smooth and easy in the 21st century, right?
Exactly.
We're used to it from our smartphones and tablets.
Yeah, and the expectations have gone up a lot on how apps run seamlessly across the tablets. We've got a powerful set of services and components that are inside of the Kinetic framework. We can build feature-rich applications that can be deployed to the cloud and the app stores, run on all modern devices, but most importantly, these Kinetic apps understand how to transact with the Epicor systems. So let us give you a quick little demo. So as you can see, we've got a Kinetic application running on the desktop in a browser, on a tablet surface, on an iPad, and on a phone. And you'll notice that it understands the form factors that it's running on. So Brent, why don't we add a button to the home page real quick, and let's get some data.
Sure.
feature, Brett, I'm going to uncomment a line of code here that we've written earlier, and this adds the button to the home screen. So I'm just going to do that and save it, and as soon as the refresh happens, we'll see the button appear on the screen.
All right, great. So now that we've got a button on here, let's go ahead and add it to the grid. Let's put the grid down so we can go get the data. So the Kinetic app automatically connects to the ERP system, manages the session, manages the transactions. So we're going to get some sales orders here and show you what that looks like. So I'll go ahead and get the sales orders across the different devices. And what you're going to see is we've got a standard grid that lists the parts, or excuse me, the sales orders. And the way that it looks across the devices, you'll notice we've got 6 columns displayed on a large monitor, but when it gets down to a phone, it's only got the columns that you actually need to look at on the phone. And that in general is a Kinetic application. It's got the internationalization and localization built right into the product, and we're really hoping that the takeaway is that we're going to empower our partners and our customers to build applications that span devices quickly.
Sure. I mean, on the web they call it responsive design, and so now it's available in applications too, as it should be.
Yeah, as it should be. So we're excited about it. We've got a lot of interest here at Insights about it, and we're releasing it right now to beta to our partners. So.
And you must have already had customers coming up to you excitedly wanting to implement it and asking advice.
Absolutely, they're excited and they want to know when they can get it in their hands. So we're working hard to make that happen. So.
Sure. Any final messages to the current and future customers on Kinetic Design?
Well, we think that it's really going to bring a lot of value in the way that we standardize our look and feel and the performance of the applications going forward. So.
Okay. Brett, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brent and Deb. Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you. Connected Factory part of the Experience Zone, and Scott, please take us through it.
Yeah, Connected Factory. So I have literally rolled up my sleeves for this one. And I've got here with us Dr. Ayat Assam. And Ayat, you've been doing some incredible work in all kinds of different ways of connecting a factory. And actually, I like to say connecting humans to machines in many, many ways. And one of the ways that you've done that is some what do we call them? Wearables, is that right?
Indeed.
All right. Tell me what's going on here.
Well, one thing that you probably want your workers to do is making less mistakes and spend less time trying to figure out what they're supposed to do. So we came across the company called ProGlove, who are manufacturing this very advanced barcode readers that can read all sorts of barcodes, different sizes, different configurations, 2D, 1D. And what's more important is they have a very extensive and smart system sitting in the back of this, controlling how these barcodes are read. So imagine if you are doing some work, manufacturing a car, for example, and you come across 2 of these parts. You know one of them you actually need to attach to a car, and the other one you do not. But as far as
they look very similar.
They look absolutely the same.
Very similar.
But they are not.
Okay.
One of them is correct, one of them is not. So
could I try on this glove?
Please do.
Let me see how this works.
It looks like the Nintendo Power Glove on steroids, except for real business use, right? As opposed to video
Well,
games.
it's designed to be
business.
disposable.
And then I turn it on.
Yep.
Okay, it's on.
If you scan, let's scan the wrong part first.
Okay, this is the wrong part,
This
so
is the
I
wrong
just...
part.
Oh! All right,
It gives you haptic feedback and
I felt
shines
it.
red light to tell you that this is not the right part to use. So you put it
What
aside.
happens
and
if
you
I
pick up the other one.
scan the right part? Green.
Green
And a
light.
different feeling.
Absolutely different feeling. It's fully configurable. It can be integrated with Epicor. So imagine a situation where you are inside of Epicor, you're doing warehouse moves, and you need to pick up
Right.
one of several boxes. We
Right.
can integrate directly into Epicor Material Queue. So
Right.
as you're picking up the item to move, the glove can tell you whether you're picking up the right thing or the wrong thing.
Right, so this,
Symbiosis of man and machine.
it is, well, yeah, it is. And, you know, the Pro Glove isn't our product, but it's about integrating the data from the glove through our APIs, right?
Exactly.
Right into
We
the
have very
ERP.
extensive API support, and with the release of REST API, it's becoming easier and easier for all of our partners to integrate new products and new technologies into the Epicor ERP infrastructure. So, as I mentioned, with the example of the glove, what we can do, we can use our new Connected Factory interface to make the glove an IoT device. Every
Right.
time you scan something, we send data to Azure IoT Hub, our partner, that is then broadcast straight to our Connected Factory interface that is able to tell you whether you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing by merging the data from devices with the data from Epicor.
Right, exactly.
And we've taken this.
Let's see
to
what's
the
going
extreme
on over
really.
here then.
What we have here is we have data coming live from a factory inside of Netherlands. Company Boers & Co. have been very kind to allow us access to their factory, and what we have now is a machine that's doing some manufacturing. And what we can see here is a graph where we can see the vibration parting of the main machine axis. As the work is being done, the vibration will change. As the tool is wearing out, this will change again. So what we can do is we can say that the tool is worn out and needs replacing before it starts producing scrap. Because let's be honest, the last thing you want is to start producing scrappage, because whilst you can probably replace the material, you can't replace the time.
And obviously,
And
it helps
productivity is
the
very
factory to keep running at full speed, and it's predictive
Absolutely.
analytics to quite an excellent degree.
Absolutely. And what we have here is we have a floor plan of the factory in Netherlands, and it's located here in Schiedam. And if I zoom back in, all the little green dots are connecting directly to Netherlands. So it's actually
Sure. It takes a little while, yeah.
So there's the factory in Netherlands. All the little green dots are machines that are currently connected to our connected factory interface. These are live machines doing work in Netherlands right this moment, right this minute. We can tell that there are 15 people logged in to Epicor and doing work through Epicor, and 21 machines doing the work. What is more is usually the problem with industrial IoT is that you have all this data coming from all sorts of machines, all sorts of devices.
Most of which are incompatible.
Exactly.
Right?
And all this data, it has no context. And Epicor ERP is the system that can provide us this important context. So for example, if I look at what this machine is doing, I can tell that at the moment, somebody's working out, they finished setup, and they are 14 out of 50 parts through the manufacturing process. I can tell which job they're doing it for. I can tell how long it's planned to take. What's more, I can tell them why they're doing this. So they're making the order in stock.
Epicor is the glue that.
Epicor is the glue that brings it all together, because Epicor has all this beautiful data about jobs and things you do, and the Azure IoT Hub has the data from the sensors. Both the sensors coming live from the machines through interfaces such as OPC, MT Connect from smart PLCs, or if you have an older machine that's probably 30 plus years old, you don't need to throw it away, because what you can do, you can build your own sensor, attach it to the machine, and suddenly your machine becomes another IoT device. The frequency sensor that I showed you earlier is actually a sensor that we've built and helped Boers mount on one of their older machines. And now they can receive all this data, and they can predict tool wear and predict maintenance before it becomes a problem.
The company must, or your customer must have been absolutely delighted to be able to retrofit older machines and get this level of data that was just non-existent before.
Absolutely, they've been very helpful and provided us really unprecedented access to their systems and their devices. We've been on site with them on several occasions and helped them get some of these software and hardware items in place. And it's been a great pleasure working with them, because they're very keen on being at the cutting edge, and we're helping them get to this cutting edge using Epicor.
Yes. And without having to buy reams of new equipment at very
Absolutely.
expensive prices.
You have a very expensive machine that's been working there for many years. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just old.
Yeah.
But it works perfectly fine. So does it mean that you have to leave it there and have half of your factory as connected and smart factory and the other half as unconnected?
Yeah.
It doesn't really work. But there's no point in throwing away this old machine. Self-cost of one of these sensors is really less than maybe $20.
Sure.
in some cases.
And is there any kind of stats on just how much more efficiency the factories receive by being able to know in advance when things are going to break down? I mean, you can sort of see, it's obvious that it's huge, but are there any stats you can share?
At the moment, we're still just starting collecting the data, so we don't have the big enough set of data
Sure.
to be able to perform these kinds of analytics.
But I mean, the very first time the machine said, "Hey, I'm about to break down, fix me," there must have been a victorious moment.
They've been absolutely ecstatic about it, and would you blame them, really?
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
can review some of the KPIs about the factory performance. As an example, you can see the status of the purchase orders, or the status, the stock and WIP information, the downtime minutes per day. So they already have this view that they would not be able to get otherwise. The several people from Boers, including their some of their upper management, are here at Insights, and what they can do is being in here from here in Nashville, they can look at how the factory is performing in Netherlands, and if need be, can pick up a phone and tell someone to sort an issue before it becomes an issue.
Sure, incredible stuff. And yeah, what else would you like to show us?
You can see a full feed of what data is happening, so they can see when people are starting and doing jobs. And what's more is they've been very kind enough to allow us to extend a little bit their factories and add another factory to their portfolio. So as of today, Boers have an additional factory located inside of Nashville in America. So here it is, a nice beautiful green dot. And if we zoom into this factory, what we can see is our beautiful experience zone.
Aha!
Does it look familiar?
It does, we're right here.
Exactly. So let's switch to the floor plan. And here we are, spin inside in the middle. You probably recognize the location. And if we look at our little corner of connected factory, you see we have 3 devices connected.
Yep.
We have our 3D printer that's currently busy doing a little bit of work.
And there's a live screen video, live video.
It is live video. I can actually show you the live stream by switching it to here. So what happens is all these little widgets, they're fully configurable by the customer and they can show the progress. So you can see that I'm about 30% through the print job at the moment, and I can monitor the temperatures of my extruder and print bed. What's more, if I go to Epicor ERP and use it to start a job inside of Epicor, just as you would do with regular Epicor MES. Right here, what would happen?
That of course is the machine right there.
That is the machine right there doing the work. So there we go. I've logged into Epicor MES and I've started the job in Epicor. Let's see what this does to our connected factory. And all of a sudden, our connected factory transforms. And if you look on the left, you can see that another sound has started work on a specific part. So this information comes directly from Epicor. And as people are doing their job using Epicor, somebody can monitor this, they can know what's happening without having to open up Epicor and review it. We've built this interface to bridge together all these various aspects and build onto one cohesive system. And the customer is happy and we're happy to be able to do it.
Sure. And so what are we printing down here at the moment?
At the moment we're just doing really and get the beautiful smell of food because we're using wood filament.
Yes.
And it smells a lot better than usual plastic.
Yeah.
I'd like to show you another one of our IT devices. That's located right here in Nashville. And this IT device is right here. Let's check the live from camera on it. Do you recognize anything?
Yes.
My colleague Ross can send over the N wave to you. So this IT device is the drone.
The drone, yes, that's the one we saw in the keynote.
Exactly.
Yep.
What we wanted to do is we wanted to see just to show people just how far you can take IT devices. They don't need to be the machines that are static and sitting at your factory. IT devices can really be absolutely anything you want. Your IT device can be flying around and doing cycle counting inside of your factory.
Yeah, we were seeing the stock take happening via the drone.
Exactly.
It's effectively autonomous. I mean, I suppose it's going on a program to.
This is why we've picked this particular drone model, is because we have full control to its avionics and we can program it to fly fully autonomously. We've used a combination of this indoor positioning sensors from a company called Marvel Mind Robotics, which gave us accuracy of positioning with plus minus 2 centimeters.
That's pretty insane.
Really good.
Yeah.
So as far as any device is concerned, it just received data from a really accurate GPS receiver that happens to work indoors.
Indoors, yeah.
Yep. So we've had to do a little bit of work to put the RFID reader that can read at a range of up to 2.7 meters during our testing, but theoretically it can reach up to 4 meters. So
and this kind of stock taking is something that humans just couldn't do with such regularity or ease or speed.
They could do it, but what they would have to do is they would have to take the box out, open the box, have a look at what's inside, and do the count. And as you've probably seen from the video, some of those boxes are pretty high up in the air and
stacked up on top shelves.
Stacked up, so you will need to get a forklift, to get the box out, get it checked, put it back. It takes time, and you don't really want to spend too much time.
And a drone is a lot cheaper than having all that manpower.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A drone will fly by and it will scan what's inside of the box using the RFID reader without having to open the box.
Yeah. Incredible stuff.
The future is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. So any final messages for the viewers?
Just really saying that here at Epicor we are very glad to work with the cutting edge of technology, and we're glad that we can use the Azure platform to help us leverage this powerful new technology together to build this experience that we're hoping will make the lives a lot easier for our customers.
Dr. Ayat, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.